So, you're looking for a new standalone VR headset? Well, let's be real. Your choice pretty much comes down to two major players from Meta. You've got the top-tier, premium Quest 3, and then you've got its more budget-friendly sibling, the Quest 3S. Right now, these two are the whole conversation.
But here's the thing that makes this so interesting. They run the exact same software. They play the exact same games from that huge library. Which brings us to the big $200 question. Is the premium Quest 3 really worth that much more? Because this decision isn't about software at all. It's all about the hardware.
And to figure that out, we're going to break it down. We'll start with the core specs on paper, then jump into the visual experience, which is a massive deal. Then we'll cover comfort and all the other little features. After that, we'll tackle the price tag, and then we'll wrap it all up with the final verdict on who should buy which headset.
All right, first up, the core specs. Let's just look at the raw numbers and see what we're working with here.
Now, what's really fascinating here is what's identical. Check it out. Both headsets have the same powerful Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip and 8 gigs of RAM. That means the engine under the hood, the actual horsepower, it's exactly the same. But the difference is, that's where it gets juicy. Look at the resolution and the field of view. The Quest 3 is just plain better in both, giving you a sharper, wider picture. And then, of course, you see the big differences in storage and price right there at the bottom.
Okay, so those are the numbers. But what does that actually mean for what you see inside the headset? This brings us to what is, honestly, the single most important difference between these two, the visual experience. And it's all about the lenses. The Quest 3 uses these modern, super-thin pancake lenses. It's a huge leap forward. Basically, they give you a crystal-clear image across your entire line of sight. The Quest 3 on the other hand, uses the older Fresnel lens technology, the same kind that was in the Quest 2, to keep the cost down. These are a bit thicker and are famous for having a sweet spot, where it's sharpest right in the middle but gets a little blurry as you look toward the edges.
And this is the real-world result of that tech difference. With the Quest 3, you can just naturally glance around with your eyes, and everything stays sharp. With the Quest 3S, you'll find yourself having to turn your whole head to keep whatever you're looking at in that perfectly focused center. For some people, that's fine. For others, it's a total deal breaker.
We can actually put a number on how much sharper the Quest 3 is. It's a metric called pixels per degree, or PPD. Just think of it like the pixel density on your phone. As you can see, the Quest 3 hits 25 PPD. That is a full 25% sharper than the Quest 3S. What that means for you is sharper text, more detailed worlds, and just a much more believable image. So the visuals are a massive dividing line. But what about all the other stuff? How the headset feels to wear, the little features that can make or break your experience. Let's dive into that. Let's talk about getting the focus just right. IPD is your interpupillary distance, is just the space between your eyes. Nailing this setting is absolutely crucial to avoid eye strain and get the clearest picture. The Quest 3S gives you 3 preset positions to click between, and for many people, that's good enough. But the Quest 3 has a smooth adjustment wheel, so you can dial in the exact perfect distance for your eyes. It's a premium feature that makes a huge difference in comfort, especially in longer sessions. And there are a few other goodies to talk about. The Quest 3 gives you a headphone jack, which is awesome. It has a depth sensor for super fast room setup, and it's 40% slimmer up front, which really helps with the balance. But, and this is surprising, the Quest 3S has a couple of tricks up its own sleeve. It actually has slightly better battery life. And it includes IR illuminators, which means it can track your controllers better in low-light rooms. Pretty cool. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. For most people, this is the section that really matters, the price. Here it is, plain and simple. The Quest 3S gets you in the door for just under $300 for the 128 gig model. The Quest 3 starts at just under $500. Now, that's a $200 gap, and that's not nothing. But, and this is really important, the base model Quest 3 comes with 512 gigs of storage. So you're not just paying $200 for better visuals and comfort. You're also getting 4 times the space for your games right out of the box.
So we've looked at the specs, the visuals, the comfort, and the price. Now for the big finale. Which one should you actually spend your hard-earned money on? Let's make this super clear.
It really just depends on which of these two profiles sounds more like you. So first up, let's talk about who should be buying the more affordable Quest 3S. You should absolutely go for the Quest 3S if you are brand new to VR and you just want to see what it's all about without a huge investment. If your budget is the #1 thing you're thinking about, it's a no-brainer. It's also a perfect headset for kids, or if you're mainly going to be using it for fitness apps, where that edge-to-edge clarity isn't quite as important. It's an amazing, powerful entry point into the world of VR.
On the other hand, you should definitely make the jump to the Quest 3 if you're someone who just has to have the best possible picture. If the idea of a sweet spot and blurry edges just makes you cringe, this is your headset. If you plan on spending hours at a time in VR, that perfect IPD fit and better balance will be worth every single penny. And look, if you're already a VR enthusiast, you will see, feel, and appreciate the difference immediately.
So there you have it. The choice really comes down to a trade-off between price and those premium quality of life features. You've got all the facts. So the only question left is, are you going to go for the accessible, powerful entry point or the premium, future-proof, immersive experience? The choice is yours.